when there is a bump in the road, whether it's an administration or some sort of breakdown, all of a sudden the valuations can be a little bit of disappointment. Is that something that you found?
They can be a disappointment, but also too, people unfortunately become a little bit strategic. But yes, there can be an unrealistic attitude if they're overinvested, if they haven't had objective advice and advisors. Sometimes you find, particularly working with accountants or the company accountant, the company accountant's too close sometimes to the business. So we actually do have to get external experts to help us with valuation issues.
What are sort of some of the dirty tricks that you see?
Oh, they start up new companies or they actually convince their spouse to actually resign from directorships and shareholdings. And often too, they're the disempowered or to be too gender specific, but sometimes the wife might not realise that resigning a directorship gives up a whole lot of commercial rights and access to information and decision making. For example, lending and then that can lead to people actually taking out loans to actually affect the balance sheet and the valuation. And that's something where we have to sometimes have independent forensic investigators who are experts. The forensic accountants will actually try and unpick that to see if there's been something deliberate to actually decrease the value of that company. And you can actually get injunctive relief if you find that has been the case. But it's very messy and it's very hard for somebody who's not commercially savvy. It doesn't pass the smell test. I obviously haven't got Mark's expertise, but I've been doing it long enough, and that you can tell the types of behaviours or their responses to queries for information. We can see besides the activity through searches where people are actually divesting themselves and particularly putting pressure on the partner to remove themselves from the corporate structure. That's a very big signal to us that something untoward's going on. And I'm sure Mark could relate to that as well. It's a bit like oppression of minority shareholders. Sometimes you're running that type of case.
Mark, do you think will these new insolvency laws help that situation, or help navigate these sort of family issues at all?
I think so. You don't want continuing businesses that are losing money, putting more strain on the family business. So they need to either restructure and resolve their issue, or if they can't do that, it's best to maybe even liquidate to stop the financial drain. Certainly, getting back to Sally's point around valuations and actually, what is the core value of a business? We certainly have that expertise in-house. Suella McCallum does do that. So, we certainly try and get to the nub of, the true value, the core value of a business as part of the assessment as to whether we've got something that's worth saving.
Yeah, well, then, of course, you've got dueling valuers, his and hers.